Bliss, everyone. Bliss, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome to a brand new weekly reading. How is everyone doing? I am so excited to tap in today. My name is Rissa Vibes, aka Readings by Rissa, and I am coming at you live on this Sunday to bring you all of the weekly messages for our week coming up, all of our spirit messages, intuitive messages, the energy of the collective. All right, we're going to talk about it. We're also going to review a little of last week, and we're going to talk about the upcoming astrology. Today we are covering August 15th, which is today, all the way until next Sunday, August 22nd, where we have another full moon in Aquarius. So we're going to get a little sneak peek of that energy as well today. But take a little time as you dive in. I'm going to take another sip of my cacao. Take a little time as you settle in here. Take a couple deep breaths, get nice and centered and relaxed. Sip some tea or some water. And let's go ahead and vibe. Let me know where you're coming from, where you're tuning in from, how you're feeling today. I'm super excited. I feel like my table is like a little bit, there we go. I'm a little OCD, y'all. I was like, why is the table so weird? All right, y'all, how are you doing? Where are you tuning in from? How are you vibing today? Like I said, today we're covering 8/15 to 8/22, 2021. And a little review of last week. We had the wolf as our spirit totem last week, the pathfinder, really encouraging us to remember how we are the ones that find our path and are able to teach others from our own experience. Then in the middle of the week, we had the divine guardian card from the goddess Isis deck. That was letting us know that we have divine guardian energy protecting us. We are divinely protected and guided. And then at the end of the week, which is this energy that we're in right now as we get to prepare for this upcoming week, was the passion card, really activating any sex magic with your ability to manifest through that passionate expression, or just the energy of passions, your passions being your priority, the things that you really love to do and feel super inspired by, putting those first. Okay, so tap into that energy this weekend. Allow yourself to really gain more of that prioritization of passion as we step into this week. Okay. So today we're going to cover all the spirit messages of this week. Of course, I've got my notes here, all of the messages that I received in meditation and through the readings that I do as a professional intuitive as I gear up for these readings for the Mass Collective every week. And then we're also going to pull some cards for every single message that I received to get even more information from Spirit about what we can expect this week, okay? How are you all doing? Let me make sure my chat is on. Send me a little comment, a thumbs up, or anything like that, just to let me know that you're vibing, that you can hear me, you can see me well. And let's go ahead and get into it. So the first spirit message of this week is the energy of connection and receptivity, okay? Now, I did title this weekly reading, Receptivity and Reflection. We are going to get into more of the reflection aspect in just a little bit, but for now, let's stick to this idea of connection and receptivity. As I was diving into my meditation this rising, I felt this really deep understanding from Spirit that we are starting to find more ways to be receptive to connection, not just connection with ourselves and with the divine, but more so connection with others. We're going to start to feel more magnetism for community. We're going to start to feel more connections from those that we really feel called to get to know and learn from and collaborate with. We're really being encouraged to find our soul tribe. And we may have found our soul tribe in some way already, but we're being called to expand our soul tribe and to start to feel into the other like-minded individuals on this planet who are aligned to the similar purpose that we are, okay? And so we want to be really receptive to connection during this week, because we're going to start to see a lot of new connections being shown to us and new opportunities for connection showing up. And if we ignore that or repel that, we may be missing out on some extended soul family collaborations and connections. And those things are really, really beautiful. They're so synchronistic when you find somebody that you know you're meant to collaborate with on a creative project or in a experience in life or on a goal or manifestation that you see for the world. And so we really want to lean into that. And we want to make sure our hearts are open to that, okay? And sometimes we don't realize when our hearts are closed to something because maybe we haven't had that kind of connection in a while, or maybe we've never had that type of connection in general. And really, soul tribe connection can feel quite different than just meeting somebody that you get along with. Soul tribe connection can feel very, very soul triggering, not in a negative way, sometimes in a little bit of a complicated way, but more so just deep and symbolic, and even energetically sensitive and amplified. And that can be a little uncomfortable for some who haven't experienced that before. So if you're starting to feel like a really deep familiarization with someone or a really deep soul connection with someone, don't shy away from it. Lean in and really find a way to understand what that soul connection is. Be receptive to that understanding. Ask your guides to give you more signs and more clarity on what that soul relationship is and what it's bringing for you, because we don't want to repel that at this time, okay? We want to really embrace that soul energy, soul tribe connection, okay? I'm going to pull a card for this. Hi, Candace. Good to see you. Hi, Nikki. Good to see you. Maria's here as well. Kevin's here. So good to see you all. Yes. I love, love, love that you're here. Thank you for joining. Let's go ahead and pull a little card about receptivity and connection in collaboration. Now, another thing that I'm feeling with this card is, or this energy as this card comes up, is we are meant to be creative and collaborative with other like-minded souls. It's so important that we don't shy away from sharing our gifts with others and also using our gifts in harmony with others to create amazing, amazing practices and services for the world, okay? So anybody that you're being called to collaborate with or connect with or to work with in some way, lean into it, like I said, and don't be afraid to share your gifts and share your knowledge with those who feel really connected to you. And the card today is synthesis, okay? And synthesis is beautiful because this is really what we're talking about. We're talking about the ability to connect and harmonize with others, okay? Connect and harmonize with others. This is the synthesis card, 8 of crystals from the Voyager deck, okay? And it is all about this connectivity and receptivity. When we are receptive to connection that is aligned to us, we find synthesis with it. We find harmony with it. And as those energies merge, it creates a new and evolved energy to give to the world. That is such a beautiful hybrid of connection, of gifts, of service, okay, of soul purpose, soul mission, creative work, all of the above, all right? So find that alignment to the synthesis that is showing up in your life with other people and lean into it, all right? The next message on our spirit message 5 is alignment to your soul mission and soul truth. Okay. Now, as we find more of our soul tribe, and also as we lean more into our unique path, which we've been doing so beautifully for the past several weeks, really, since that first full moon in Aquarius, we are really finding more of what we're great at and what we love to do. And also, all in the same breath, what the experiences in our life have lined us up for. And it's starting to manifest now. Okay, we're starting to understand more of who we are and what we're meant to do in this world and what we're meant to give and offer to the collective to make this world a better place. And that is our soul mission and our soul truth. So as you start to feel that intuitively, and as you start to feel the inspiration to embody that, you want to really just reflect on it and really be proud of it and really recognize if there's any resistance to it so that you can let that go and align even more to your soul mission and soul truth. No doubting it, no judging it anymore, no fearing it or repelling it anymore. It is time for us to step fully in to our soul mission and soul truth because the world needs it. And we're also getting that connection and receptivity energy, that synthesis with others as we step more into our soul truth and soul mission, because as we do, we start to attract more of those who are aligned to it and who can help us fulfill it even more on a bigger scale, on a higher level, okay? So if you've been feeling, like, oh, wow, I'm starting to realize more about my soul truth or my soul mission, and maybe you're starting to doubt it, or maybe you're just not sure, let this be your sign of validation and confirmation that this is what you've been feeling. And it is something that you're meant to lean into so that you can continue to evolve in that, okay? And for those of you who are already doing that and really stepping into that this week, great job. You are right on track. And this is the time for you to really fully embrace your soul mission and soul truth and start to see how rewarding that can be when you do, okay? And it takes work. It takes work to get to that place where you're fully stepping into your soul truth and soul mission sometimes, because sometimes our life leads us in a very different direction, but that's for a purpose. It's for the purpose of showing us what is not our soul mission and soul truth so that we can align even deeper to it once we discover it, okay? Let's go ahead and pull a card from the Goddess Isis deck. I'm feeling like she wants to give us a little bit of extra communication on this. How are you all feeling? Yeah, I'm so glad you're catching the live too, Maria. It's so nice to have you. Hey, Nico, good to see you. All right. This one is coming up for Goddess Isis in regards to her soul mission and soul truth. Power over the 7 scorpions. Okay, get a look at that card. Such a beautiful card. The power over the 7 scorpions says you are being initiated into the magic of conjuring so as to have the power to affect lower vibrational forces through your own will and spoken word. You are guided to use this powerful gift with compassion and discernment, with mercy and non-judgment. You can then manage any toxicity in your life swiftly and with great effect. So this is letting us know that any lower vibrational forces that are in the way of us stepping into our soul mission and soul truth, whether it be other people, environments, experiences, inner thoughts, or feelings that feel fearful or judgmental towards our soul purpose, we have the power to clear that with our own divine will and our spoken word. So what they're saying with this is to really use powerful and affirmative statements, mantras, affirmations that really help you to step more into your soul truth and soul mission, and that also help you clear away any resistance or any external forces that are trying to distract you from it, okay? That is how we're going to align even more to our soul mission and soul truth. So thank you, Goddess Isis, for giving us that clarity. So, so, so beautiful. Now, the next message in this week, okay, 8:15 to 8:22, is creation and connection to the divine. Now, all these 3 messages really go so beautifully together. And this part of the message is all about the creation, the manifestations, the inspirations that we're bringing into fruition as a response to the connection to our divine light, okay, and source, the divine creator, all right? So we are creators, right? Because we are extensions of the divine creator. All things are. All beings on this universe are extensions of the divine creator. Dualistic energies and all energies on the spectrum are extensions to some degree of the creator, okay? Including, when we tap into our higher self or our guardian angels or Goddess Isis or Kuan Yin or Mother Mary or Jesus Christ, right? All of those energies and all of those guides are also extensions of the divine creator, but they're on a higher level, a higher dimensional plane. They are more connected to the divine because they've already transcended higher, right, than we have. And even the things that are lower vibrational on the spectrum of us, we have ascended higher than that, right, in that level of creation. So it's all an extension, okay? And in that light, we are recognizing that because we are an extension of Source, we have the power to create through the inspirations that Source brings us into our heart, into our mind, into our spirit, to bring forth into the world, okay? So whatever you're feeling creatively inspired by, things that you might want to start creating for community or for the planet, maybe it's a creative art, maybe it's a event or a workshop, maybe it's just a place, an environment, a sacred space that you're wanting to create, or maybe you're just wanting to create some really powerful goals for yourself or for the world as we know it to really level up and raise higher in their vibration. Okay, whatever it is that you're feeling inspired to create, you have the power to do it as you connect deeper to the divine. How do you connect deeper to the divine? Meditation, yoga, breath work, prayer, asking your guides to show up, speaking to your guides more often, journaling. I did a really beautiful video about meditating your own way and the power of journaling on my intuitive practices playlist on this channel. Those are so powerful, such powerful tactics for connection to the divine. And so the more we connect to the divine and recognize that connection, the more we're going to feel inspired to create from that connection. Okay, I'm going to pull a card from the Spirit Messages deck, because that one is the one that's really calling me for some more guidance for all of us on how we can connect deeper to our creative essence and our connection to the divine. Have hope. Have hope. Okay, when we step into more hope, and hope in what we want to create, hope in what we're inspired by, hope in the outcome that we want to see in the world, when we step into that hope, we step into deeper connection to our divine light, to the divine creator, and to our ability to create from that hope more beautiful things. Okay? It also says your loved ones in the spirit world know when to reach out if they see you're at a low point. Whether you're caught up in a difficult situation or struggling with someone specific in your life, there is always hope. Okay, so really recognizing that if there's any resistance to your connection to the divine, maybe you've been feeling a little bit disconnected, maybe you've been feeling a little bit lax in your intuition, or just confused and without clarity or direction. Have hope and know that your loved ones and your guides in the spirit world are going to bring you the connection that you're seeking, as long as you have that hope. And really, what is hope? It is our ability to be receptive to something other than what we're seeing in our experience presently, right? And so that is going right back to that energy of receptivity, okay? Receptivity and connection. Having hope allows you to be more receptive to the connection to the divine and your connection to your creative force, okay? What a beautiful way that the cards are just showing up for us in this reading, as they always do, right? I really love the fact that I've switched things up since a few months ago and started pulling cards as we talk about these messages, because I think it's so fun. It's so fun to see the cards speak to us as we do these readings. All right, so the next message on our list for our spirit messages of this week is just to recognize that this week, as we start to close out of the Leo season, we're feeling finally a little less emotionally sensitive than we did in the beginning of the month, and also in Cancer season right before, okay? And these emotional sensitivities, as they balance out and they're not so on the surface, we're starting to feel more balanced and practical actions within ourselves being inspired, okay? We're starting to realize that, okay, we were really emotional for the past several weeks and even last month. And those emotional sensitivities were so good for us because they helped us to see, I'm getting chills as I talk about this, they helped us to see what it was that we maybe weren't picking up on intuitively and empathically before that, right? They activated a new level of our emotional body and our emotional empathic ability. All right. And that is a beautiful and necessary thing. And sometimes when we activate a new gift or a new skill or a new awareness, it can be really amplified at first and a little bit out of control, where we're not really sure how to steer the ship or the new car that we got, right? We're trying to figure it out. How do we drive this thing? But now that we've taken that time to really let those emotional sensitivities flow and communicate to us and express through us, now we're finally starting to learn how to drive the car. And we're starting to feel a lot more in control of our emotional sensitivities while still having them. And it allows for us to feel more balanced and practical with it, so that we can actually listen to the empathic abilities we have without being consumed by them or without having them create a whole different experience because we are so now consumed by it and distracted by it that we forgot what we were using it for, what we needed it for, right? So this is a beautiful thing. We're going to feel more balanced. We're going to feel more practical. You know, that fiery energy of the Leo has now kind of dried up some of those emotional sensitivities and helped us feel more connected to them internally rather than just on the surface. Okay. And that's a really, really great thing. So I'm going to pull a Mary Magdalene card for this one because it's just she's such an empathic energy and guide. And she's just so good at you know, honoring messages from the heart space or for the heart space even. Have you noticed that you're a little bit less emotionally sensitive this week? If you have, let me know how in the chat. Let me know how you've been noticing that. Whoa. All right, push that card out real quick. Revelation. Okay, so just like we were saying, those emotional sensitivities were there to show us more about ourselves, our experience, and our empathic abilities. They gave us the revelations that we needed to move forward into what we're meant to be and what we're meant to experience, okay? And now that we've had those revelations around our emotional body, now we are able to use that higher level of sensitivity in a more aligned and successful way. Okay, so use your emotional sensitivities, your empathic nature to maybe start manifesting something that you want, right? Or to maybe give you that confidence and courage to say, I am an empath and I can use this skill for other people to serve the world, right? Or I am, you know, my empathic abilities have shown me truths that I needed to see that have now propelled me into a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of being, right? It's a beautiful revelation to have, okay? All right, the next message was actually a message that hit me right before I went live today, and Spirit was just like, hey, you have to talk about this. And I'm like, okay, cool, let me jot that down. And the message is about integrity, okay, integrity. And Spirit had me look up the definition of integrity, and so I want to share that with you as the message, and then we'll pull a card. Really understanding the definition of integrity being that it is being whole and undivided, okay? One of the definitions of integrity is being whole and undivided. The other definition is being honest and genuine, morally sound, okay? So there's two sides of this, and both actually come together really beautifully. When we are honest and genuine and morally sound with ourselves and with the world and with others, we start to feel more whole and undivided. We start to feel more solid in who we are as a being of light, okay? Last week we talked about being loyal to the light, right? A part of being loyal to the light is being integritous in that loyalty, right? Being whole and undivided in that loyalty to the light. Being whole and undivided in our honest and genuine nature. Okay, so important this week. We have been manifesting like crazy in this Lionsgate portal since last week, and we are continuing to experience the Lionsgate portal until Wednesday. And so in that energy, we want to make sure that we stay whole and undivided in our focus on what we want, what we're wanting to manifest with that Lionsgate portal, what we're wanting to step into as our strong and confident nature, and also how we want to be loyal to the light, right? And so let that energy of the Lionsgate also fuel your integrity and make sure that you are integritous, because when we're in a portal and we're manifesting things, we really have to be very morally sound and honest and genuine with how well we're doing that. Because if we start to let in other energies that are maybe, just greedy or one-sided or just not in the right intention, then we start to manifest more of that energy, and we start to really infect the portal with that energy that we don't want, right? And we talked about this last week, the importance of really keeping light in the portal, right? And to not close the portal, even though we all know that there's many portals out there that, darker energies or beings are trying to use for their own agenda. We don't want to stop using the portal because of that. We want to generate more light, more integrity into the portal to counter that energy, right? Any energies that are using the portal for purposes, okay? Malevolent purposes. All right, so use your integrity, be genuine, honest, and morally sound with yourself. Stay whole and undivided in your mission, in your goal, and in the way in which you step into it, okay? Let's see what the cards have to say about that one. Oppression. So the cards, the guides are saying, hey, also pay attention to any ways that you're feeling like you're oppressed, right? Because if you're feeling oppressed by something, then that means that you're not really whole and undivided. You're actually being divided by something outside of you, or even something within you if you're oppressing yourself with your own inner dialogue, right? So make sure that there's no oppression in the energy of your manifestation. Are you oppressing your dream? Are you trying to cap it or dull it down out of fear that you can't manifest the highest version of your goal? Are you oppressing others based on what you're trying to manifest for yourself? Is there a malevolent kind of energy in your manifestations where you're not manifesting something for the goodness of all, you're just manifesting it for you? Are you oppressing other energies, right? This is all about integrity, right? Oppression is the opposite of integrity. It is divided. It is incomplete. It is one-sided. Okay, so we really want to release any energies that are one-sided or that have oppression, because that will really, really distract and corrupt our manifestations in this Lion's Gate and our integrity as we move through it. Okay. All right, we're getting into it here. The next message is about boundaries to maintain our soul power, okay? We have to set boundaries to maintain our soul power. There are a lot of us activating very high levels of soul power based on the work we've done over the past several years for that purpose. And as we elevate into higher soul power, we also have to be very selective about who or what we give our energy and soul power to, because that soul power can be taken, manipulated, and generated towards something that's not so great, or that's out of alignment for us, or that knocks us off of our path, okay? And that is not serving the highest good, because all of us light workers need to stay on our path and stay fully connected to our soul power in order for the collective of us to do what we need to do for the collective of humanity, to raise the vibration and elevate all of us into the 5D. Okay. And it is kind of a 5D or nothing type of vibe. Okay. I posted a really funny meme on Instagram. I think it was yesterday or the day before, from the Mean Girls video, or from the Mean Girls movie, that said, if you're perpetuating the matrix and refusing to expand, you can't sit with us. Okay. And it's kind of funny, but kind of true. Okay. There's a really strong need for us to be selective about who we spend our time with, what we put our energy into, because if it's not already at a level of 5D expansion or ascension, or if it's not generating to that level, or if it's not getting to that level or open to that level, then it's actually going to distract us from reaching our own level of that. Okay. And so anytime we entertain lower vibrational energies, we have to be aware that that is, that's something that we're kind of playing with fire. Okay. And, of course, as a professional intuitive, a lot of my job is to clear out negative energy. When I'm doing my energy cleanses and my Reiki practice, I clear out lower vibrational energies. So I have to work with that. I have to work with lower vibrational energies to clear it out. But I keep a boundary. I keep a protective field around me when I'm doing that work. And also, if I go into an environment where I know there's lower vibrational energy, maybe the energy is very matrixed or very separatist or very oppressive or very spiteful or just opposite to that love and light energy that we know we want to create, I always make sure I put a protective energy around me, or I call on my protector guides. I actually put a meditation in the intuitive practices playlist on this channel that's called Calling In Your Protective Guides. And you can do that meditation to help you call in your protective guides to keep your soul power full and strong and present, okay, to put boundaries around your soul power. so that it doesn't get drained or it doesn't get siphoned into other agendas or other intentions, okay? So make those boundaries, and you know what boundaries you've got to set. That's not usually the problem people have with boundaries around their soul power. They usually know what boundaries they need to set. The problem is they're afraid to set them, or they're reluctant to set them because maybe they have to set them with a loved one or with an environment that they're in that they really have to work to keep those boundaries strong in, or whatever it is, or work on themselves to create the boundaries with themselves as to not limit their own soul power, right? So the action, the embodiment of those boundaries tends to be the hardest part. So let's go ahead and ask Spirit for a little bit of clarity on how we can really create and embody those boundaries to maintain our soul power. What do we need to do? What's a good way for us to really embody our boundaries? How can we work through any challenges in embodying our boundaries to protect our soul power? And I love these cards. This is the Lantern deck. It's so good for, I think that's the one. So good for shadow work stuff. Inner integration. Inner integration. This is how we embody the boundaries to protect our soul power. Inner integration. And what it says is, there is peace and equilibrium and fulfillment in integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us. Okay, so integrating the inner wild with the taming and tempering effect life has on us, okay? We know that when we need to set boundaries, it's because we're feeling that tempering energy from life, right? Life is messing with us a little bit. Either people outside of us, our own inner thoughts, or our environment. Life is testing us. It's poking at us, right? It's trying to see where our weak points are, right? It's trying to test us to see what boundaries we haven't set with our soul power, right? But if we can integrate the inner wild, what is the inner wild? The inner wild is that free-spirited nature, that unapologetic energy, that strong, brave, and fierce energy, right? Even sometimes the rebellious energy that really lets go of conformity, or lets go of things that are trying to lock it in or cage it into something, right? So integrate your inner wild. Integrate that free-spirited, unapologetic, fiery, fierce, unchained, unbridled you. That is how you step into the boundaries that you need to set to protect your soul power, because that is your soul power. So lean more into your soul power's fierceness. And when you do, you're going to start to feel an unapologetic expression of your boundary. You're not going to feel so resistant to setting those boundaries, because you're going to feel so in alignment to your soul power that you just know how valuable it is, and you just will not tolerate anything that could get in the way or diminish that value. Okay? Integrate your inner wild. And that is how you really step into the boundaries that you need to maintain to protect your soul power. Okay? Pretty epic, right? The way the cards answer us so beautifully. All right, and the next and final spirit message that I want to share with you before we get into astrology is communication with self. Okay, this is where we get into the deep inner reflection. All right, we talked about receptivity, and now we want to talk about reflection. And that was the title of this reading, Receptivity and Reflection. So you don't want to forget that this week, okay? Stay receptive, open in the synthesis energy that you have. Stay hopeful in that energy, because it keeps your heart open. And as you do, you have revelations to anything that's oppressing your true soul power, right? Just a little review of the cards. But as a ending of this part of the reading, we really want to also talk about communication with self, that deep inner reflection that we need to have that helps us to be accountable and responsible for how we are managing our life, managing our vibration, and managing our manifestations for the future, and even for the present moment, okay? So communicate with yourself. Journal. Journaling is a great way of communicating with yourself, because as you write down maybe a question that you have about your life and you meditate on it, you take a couple deep breaths, you're instantly going to feel your heart responding, because you've internally reflected on that question. And your heart's going to respond and send that inspiration down your arm and into the paper that you're writing on. That is how we communicate with ourselves. We can even reflect deeply with ourselves through meditation, right? Through different plant medicine ceremonies. I'm drinking cacao today. That's such a good inner reflective plant medicine. Helps to open the heart and helps us to go deeper within what our heart is trying to say to us, right? Even psilocybin, psychedelics, even deep trance and mantras, right? Sound healing can be a great way to deeply reflect internally by letting yourself get carried away by the sound and going deeper and deeper inward to feel the vibrations and how they're speaking to you and through you. Breath work is another deep inner reflective practice. Okay. And those ones are a little bit less wordy, a little bit less, responsive as far as, getting a concrete idea of what you're meant to do. The journaling will really bring in a lot more of the logistic words and the guidance that you're wanting. And you'll still get some guidance, right? You'll want to write it down if you're experimenting with plant medicines or doing ceremony and sound. You'll want to write down what you reflect on and what reflections came up, so that you don't forget them, okay? But do that work, communicate with yourself, have that deep inner reflection. Even flotation therapy, those pods that you get in, and it's no sound, and you're and a weightlessness, no gravity, right? You're in water, floating in water, and you're just forced to go deeply and reflect. These are all great ways, okay? And a result of your communication with self and that deep inner reflection is to really gain the wisdom that you're meant to receive from your own experience, from your own inner being. A lot of us like to go outside of ourselves, go research on YouTube, go watch a weekly reading, go, get a coach or have something, lectured to us for understanding, right? All those things are great, absolutely amazing. But we also want to balance that out with our own inner reflection of our own wisdom, because we have so many answers within us that sometimes we try to ignore, or we just shove to the side, pretending like they're not valuable, pretending like the outside advice is more valuable than our inside advice. And it's just not true. Both are equally valuable. And we've got to make sure we spend equal time going inward as we do outward, okay? Let's feel into any messages from Spirit on that. I'm feeling like the Angels of Atlantis want to finish out with that one was not a card, I just dropped it. But they want to finish out with a little message. So how can we communicate with self, deep inner reflection? What message do you have for us, Angels of Atlantis, surrounding deep inner reflection and communication with ourself? These cards are so temperamental because I haven't played with them in a while. They're like, finally, gotcha. Friendship. Being our own best friend. Okay? That is the benefit of having that deep inner reflection. We get to be our own best friend. And we also find friendship in ourselves as we deeply reflect. We realize that we can be the supporters of ourselves. We can be the cheerleaders for ourselves, right? We can be the advisors for ourselves. And when you realize that you can have that kind of connection with yourself, you start to no longer rely on those outside of you that might not be as good of a friend to you as you are to yourself, right? And that's a valuable thing to learn, because it helps to create boundaries to protect our soul power. Right? It's so cool how Spirit just allows us to feel a full story of each week through these readings, right? And I encourage you, if you really love these readings, send them out to some friends, some family, especially this week, since we have that connection and collaboration energy for our guidance this week. Collab and connect with other people. Send this reading to other people who you feel like may need that encouragement, right, for their soul power or their energy or their balance and harmony this week, okay? Let's stay in that web of light community and let's keep it expanding, because the more that we do that, the more that we are able to feel more friendship, not just within ourselves, but outside of ourselves, that soul tribe connection that we're also getting so much guidance on this week. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into the astrology of this week. I also want to remind myself, oh yeah, so the monthly card for this month was faith. So we want to remember also, as we kind of get to the last couple of weeks of this month, to stay in our radical faith, because even though we're starting to feel more practical awareness, more clarity, less emotional sensitivities that are kind of maybe confusing us or complicating things, we still will be experiencing things that require radical faith. And we want to keep leaning into that radical faith, okay? Don't forget it. It's important. All right, loves. So let's go ahead and cover our astrology of this week. How's everybody feeling? Kevin says, relax, relate, release for real. Yes, love that, love that. So good to see you, Sia, too, as well. I'm so glad you also caught the live today. It's so nice to have you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the astrology. Now, I already mentioned the Lionsgate portal is closing officially on Wednesday night from the integration. Really, right now, we're starting to feel like the end of the Lionsgate portal, but I always like to give a couple of days of integration. And so really, we'll probably feel the portal fully close or stop affecting us so deeply tonight and tomorrow, but then we're going to integrate how it affected us through reflection and awareness and receptivity of those messages over the next few days after that. So on Wednesday night, we'll feel a full close of that portal. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Any last manifestations, any last things you want to do to claim your victory or release things that are keeping you from being proud and confident in your soul mission and soul service, do that tonight, tomorrow, or throughout the next couple of days so that you can really finalize the Lionsgate portal according to what you've been working on and manifesting in it. Okay. Then on the 16th, which is tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of energy to harmonize with. We've got Venus entering Libra tomorrow. That Venus energy is all about romance and pleasure and care and nurturance, right? This energy of really prioritizing pleasure and feeling deeply connected to romance. It's entering Libra tomorrow. So Libra is all about balancing the scales, harmonizing the energy. So we're going to find some harmony and peace in our romantic relationships, in our romantic perspectives and expressions. We're also going to feel more harmony and peace in our relationship with pleasure and with the things that we love to do, because hopefully you've taken the advice of the last couple of weeks and you've prioritized more of your pleasure. So you've gotten really clear on what you love to do and what brings you joy. So now with Venus entering Libra tomorrow, you're going to feel more balanced in that ability to appreciate all the things that you love and really keep that as a part of your lifestyle. Then on 8/18, when the Lionsgate portal officially closes, we're going to have a lot of Virgo energy influencing us. Mercury and Virgo conjuncting Mars and Virgo, okay? Mercury is all about communication, all right, and connection. And Virgo is all about practicality and routine, discipline, and even a little bit of luxury and material abundance, okay? And that's conjuncting Mars in Virgo. Mars is the action, the masculine action of that Virgo energy, the actual embodiment of that routine and discipline and structure and material abundance, okay? So we're going to feel more practicality. We're going to feel more clear communication with a Mercury aspect. We're also going to feel more capable of problem solving anything that has been a little hectic or stressful in our life. And that's on the 18th. So that'll also be such a great pair with the Lionsgate portal ending, because we're going to feel that pride and confidence and that sense of regalness from the Lionsgate really kind of melding beautifully and harmonizing beautifully with that problem solving, practical, and even materialistically abundant Virgo energy. Okay. Then on the 19th, which is Thursday, Uranus is still retrograde, but it's shifting now into retrograde in Taurus, okay? Taurus is very strong-willed and head first and steadfast. And then the Uranus energy is kind of like dreamy and a little bit like very intuitive, very fantastical, even very highly intelligent, highly vibrational, divine intelligent, right? So this is where we're going to feel more of that review and reflection of the last 5 months of changes, these unexpected changes that we've experienced from the Uranus retrograde. We're going to start to feel more awareness and review of those changes with wisdom and a steadfast awareness, a steadfast embodiment of that wisdom from the last 5 months of changes, okay? Doesn't mean that the unexpected changes are going to stop, because we're still having Uranus in retrograde. They're still going to keep going. But now that we have the Taurus energy, it's going to feel a little bit more impactful in our wisdom. We're going to be able to use our wisdom from the past 5 months to continue moving through unexpected change in a better way, in a steadfast and stronger way. From this point forward with that Taurus influence, okay? Then on the 20th, we're going to feel Leo doing its last bit of vibrational activations on us as the end of its season. We're ending Leo season on the 20th, and Leo is going to be opposite Jupiter in Aquarius, okay? And that's actually going to give us the last little bit of that Leo luck, that lovable Leo luck. And it's going to be a great energy. So we're going to want to make sure to maintain that luck energy by not corrupting it with any narcissism or ego. No bragging, no over embellishing, no oppressing others with this confidence that you have, or this even abundance that you have from the confidence you've embodied since the Leo energy started. Jupiter is all about that abundance, and it's bringing it to us, but it's going to make sure we don't mess it up by creating more ego than we need to, okay? So you should be able to enjoy a lot of luck and abundance on the 20th with that Leo energy. And then finally, the last thing I want to mention, just as a little sneak peek for next week, August 22nd, which is next Sunday when we come back here and do another live weekly reading, we're going to have our second full moon in Aquarius. Our first full moon was on the 23rd of July. And it was an Aquarius full moon. This is our part 2 on August 22nd. And if you remember correctly, on the first Aquarius full moon, July 23rd, I spoke about how we were really using that full moon to release anything that was keeping us from being fully ourselves or uniquely expressive of our true self, anything that was limiting our unique expression or our innovative quality in that Aquarius vibration. We were releasing it, okay? That was the part 1 on July 23rd. Now on August 22nd, our part 2 of that Aquarius full moon, our second version of it, is going to be our full embodiment of our unique path and of our individuality, of our inventor aspect. And we're going to feel rebellious to any kind of conformity or any kind of limitations to our true expression of ourself. I'm getting goosebumps again, so I know this is hitting. All right. And on that day as well, August 22nd, we're going to see the sun entering Virgo. So we're going to welcome in the Virgo season. So shout out to all you Virgos out there. You're going to have your solar return very soon. And it's going to be brought in with the full moon in Aquarius, really feeling that embodiment of our true self, of our unique path. And with that Virgo energy, grounding it into full action, routine, structure, and organized expression of that uniqueness. Okay? Pretty epic. Let's get one card for the astrological influence. I'm going to pull the Angels of Atlantis again because this card deck is a little mad at me that I haven't been using it that much. So I'm going to give it a little bit more shine today. Just asking for just another card to give us for the astrological influences of the week. What do we need to really pay attention to or know? Pay attention to security and know that you are secure. That you are secure, okay? Yep. And this is a powerful vibration, all right? Feeling that security, feeling that true self, right? We talked about this. We are stepping into and integrating fully our true self, our soul mission, our power. That is our security, okay? So focus on that for this week as well with those astrological influences. And yes, Mikey, Leo season ends on the 22nd. Yes, it starts to end on the 20th, though. Anytime between the 20th and 22nd is when that last season is starting to leave and that new season is starting to be invited. So yes, if you want to get really specific on dates, you can say that the Leo season ends on the 22nd. But really, does it really end on the 22nd? Because Virgo season starts on the 22nd, right? So it's really ending. They're ending, the ending and the beginning melds together in a beautiful time, space, reality, right? And what is time, really? Time is a illusion. We do not need to overly focus on time and dates, because time is an illusion, y'all. So it's more about the energy, right? Feeling the energy and noticing how the energetics shift. And that's really when you get the clarity of, when things end and begin, is the energetic expression of it, the energetic feel of it, right? When we rely too much on our mind, we can get really focused on that, and it can actually distract us from the actual energy shifts that we are feeling in the vibration, in the timeline, okay? All right, y'all, let's go ahead and pull 3 cards for our weekly summary. We're going to pull a card for the beginning of the week, middle of the week, and the end of the week. Also, I just wanted to mention and remind all of you that I did post my Arcturian channeled messages, the Arcturian Council of 9 channeled messages from my BQH session with the Quantum Guide. It is on my page on the video section, and it has a lot of really powerful, just powerful messages about duality, about connecting to galactic energy in a physical way, and also a little sneak peek or a snippet of my abduction story. So definitely check that out. So that's another video you want to definitely check out. Also, my Hippie Vixen music video is up officially as well. It's been up for a few weeks. I would love for you all to watch that and comment about it if you haven't already. Wow, I already got the message for the beginning of the week with our spirit totem card, and it is the Orca whale, which is adventure. Okay, the beginning of the week, we want to focus on adventure with the Orca whale. I love this energy. This is giving me lots of water vibes as well, lots of intuition, lots of that empathic vibe. We talked about our emotional sensitivities being a little bit more balanced now, which is allowing us to use those emotional energies that we were flowing with in Cancer season and even the beginning of Leo season, and to really embody them through adventure, letting our emotions take us on adventures, letting our emotions and our flow like state bring us new adventures and experiences as we follow it. It says, dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. We talked about loyal to the light, right? Friends and family are your treasures. We had friendship card in this card too. Be brave with that Lionsgate energy integration. You are more powerful than you know. Such a beautiful summary of this reading just in the first card, our beginning of the week card, okay? Love, love, love that. And then the middle of the week card, let's go ahead and do healing with the angels deck. We haven't used these yet today. Let me put these other cards away. All right, middle of the week card. What are we getting for the middle of the week card? All right, how's everybody feeling? Okay, cool. Middle of the week card. Dreams. And it's so cool because we just had a message about dreams. Manifest your travel dreams, it says. And then we've got the dream card. So beautiful. We also had another card talking about dreams, the dream state. I can't remember what card it was. Oh, I don't know what card it was, but we did have it. So yeah, the dream state, okay? The dream state. Letting our dreams be spoken into reality. Letting our dreams be manifested. I wish it would autofocus, but it's not. There it goes. So yeah, letting our dreams be our reality come to fruition. We've got to focus on our dreams for that manifestation. The Lionsgate energy, it's so powerful, okay? So let your dreams become reality. Focus on them and trust that they can come true, that your power, your soul power has the ability to make them come true, right? We talked about connection and creativity, right? The creative connection that we have from our connection to the great creator, the divine, being flowed through us so that we can create our own dreams. We can manifest our own dreams with that. All right. All right, loves. And then the end of the week. Let's get our dragon cards going for the end of the week. A little fire energy as we close out Leo season this week. There it is. All right, sovereign dragons for the end of the week. You are the sovereign of your life, the ruler of your realm. Reconnect with your power and use its sacred golden energy with confidence, care, and great respect. Okay? Sovereign dragons. I love this. I know you can't really see the message, but I'm going to read it one more time. You are the sovereign of your life, the true ruler of your realm. Reconnect with your power and use its sacred golden energy with confidence, care, and great respect. Okay, that soul power coming through again. We talked about it, creating boundaries for your soul power, stepping more into your sovereignty, recognizing with that Aquarius full moon coming up that you are the ruler of your life, that you are meant to be the full embodiment of your unique path and your unique essence, honoring your soul mission and your soul truth, right? All of that coming into full summary with these cards. All right. So Orca whale, adventure time in the beginning of the week. Okay, manifest your travel dreams. Go on some adventures with your empathic ability, wherever it guides you to go. Activate more of your manifestations of your dreams by focusing on them, being receptive to your dreams, reflecting on the ways in which you've already manifested some of your dreams so that you can manifest more of them. And then the end card, sovereign dragons, you are the sovereign ruler of your life. Okay, let that dragon influence really affect you in such a powerful way. All right, loves, it's been fun. Thank you so much for vibing with me today. I am so excited to have come to you again on this Sunday for another brand new weekly reading. Make sure to send this reading to anybody that you feel will be benefited from it. And also, catch me next week on another weekly reading, 1:11 p.m. Central Time. I will be live from Florida with my dear friends, the Levines, and I'm so excited to vibe with all of you from there to send you some Florida vibes. So I'll see you then, and I can't wait to chat again. Make sure to vibe with me on my Instagram at Readings by Rissa. I'm also revamping my OnlyFans. The virtual diary link is in my bio, so I'll be revamping that. And actually, it's really good for you to go check out my OnlyFans now, because I'm likely going to delete quite a bit of things from there. And I'm going to revamp the content a little bit. So I'm going to be starting my Starseed Saturdays again on there. I'm going to be doing some more of my series on there again, but I'm also going to be deleting quite a bit of content from there that is a little outdated now. And I'm actually going to start to do that more often. I'm going to probably keep content up there for a month at a time, and then I'm going to take it down. Okay, so now is your chance to go check out all the content on my page, on my OnlyFans page, before I take some of it down. And then I'll be revamping it and starting it fresh and brand new, likely at the end of the month or the beginning of September. Okay, so you've got a little bit of time, maybe a week or two left to tap into that content on my OnlyFans before I take some of it down and revamp it for next month. All right, the link is in my bio. Also, I am starting to open up the consultation calls for my next container, my next coaching container. I am finishing out my season of coaching with my beautiful 8 luminaries that have been in the coaching container since, April, I think. And now we're closing it out in the next month. So I am going to be opening it up for the next round of coaching clients for those of you who are spiritually curious and really want to tap into your intuitive ability and have a one-on-one mentor as you move move through your enlightenment path. I'm here for you. I've got a full course and coaching program that will help you to align to your intuition and really step fully into your soul purpose and soul mission. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description as well to set up a consultation call with me so that I can give you all the details and get you on the list for that new coaching container as it opens up towards the end of the year. All right. I love you so much. Thank you again for vibing with me. I will see you next week on August 22nd for a brand new weekly reading right here at 1:11 p.m. Central Time. I love you so much. Peace.